Hi, lovely one. So I'm here for your new moon forecast. Oh gosh, it's been a wild ride, hasn't it, with eclipse season? I've said that in the last video, but it should feel like things are starting to settle down for you. And I'm hoping you're starting to see the seeds that you planted over that eclipse coming to fruition. So this new moon is in Sagittarius, happening on the 12th of December at 20 degrees and 39 seconds. And that's happening at 11:31 p.m. That's GMT time. So check your time zone. Well, I'm very excited for a start because I have a bunch of Saggy energy and I'm a Saggy moon. So hello to all the Saggy people and happy birthday because we're now in Saggy season. And this new moon is the start of a new cycle. And, think with Sagittarius, it's a great energy. It helps us to be more positive, more enthusiastic about life. And actually, I know winter can be quite a hard season for many of us. And, I'm a winter baby, but I'm really struggling. So you're not alone in that if you're feeling kind of drained by the dark mornings and dark evenings. Then I think it's part of just this time. It's an opportunity for us to slow down, and Christmas is such a hectic time, isn't it? Like we often are so external that we forget to look after ourselves. So I really hope that you take that time over this month to just take care of what you need as well. So with the Saggy energy, half man, half horse is a centaur, and this energy is, shooting its bow and arrow into the distance. So this is, wherever this new moon, whatever life area is illuminating for you, you can check on cafeastrology.com, is an opportunity to get some more passion and motivation to aim higher than you thought possible. So Saggy has this great quality of being able to expand our horizons, to see past the tangible. And this new moon is helping us nurture our faith, so that we trust the process. And sometimes that could be really hard. And if you know any Saggy people or you're a Sagittarius yourself, you'll know that sometimes the shadow side of Saggy is that they can be a bit blunt and they tend to put their foot into things. And I know I'm guilty of this myself, having a Saggy moon. Remember in the summer at a barbecue, I said, "Oh, is that the friend of yours that you've never met their partner?" And the guy was sat right opposite me. Moment I want to melt into the floor, but we've all done it. So this energy is bringing us a bit more of a fun-loving, joyful spirit at this time. And actually, I always think of, like almost the archetype being a bit like Santa, that jolly man with a big belly that's all about joy and just having fun. So give yourself that, time for you to do a bit of have a play date with yourself, go do something fun for you. So what I find is if this Saggy moon is helping us see the bigger picture, it's helping us see where we want to go, sometimes just changing your environment is a great way to just get a fresh perspective. And I'm not saying you go away for a weekend break, you probably might not have time at this time of year, but even just take yourself out for a long walk, or try a new footpath that you've not been on, and it will just open something in your subconscious that you can, without thinking about it, kind of connect the dots. And it's a good way to reflect on 2023. It's just taking a walk, actually. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. And then you can kind of go, well, what am I celebrating from this year? What am I proud of? Where did I step out of my comfort zone to move towards that bigger vision, right? Sometimes we forget the things that we've done. and then feel into like, what is it you desire for 2024? And, you know, I don't know, sometimes the seeds being planted. So this new moon, really take notice of what you feel really excited about. Right, I did a post earlier about following your curiosity. This is the time to just feel inwardly and notice, what is it that feels so alive in you? You're bursting with excitement. You know, write those things down, because that is a sign that it's probably part of your purpose. So with all that fun loving energy, we've also got the moon is in a square of Neptune. So Neptune can cause us to get into procrastination on the shadow side, and sort of self-deception. So just watch when you're getting into escapist tendencies. You know, it's great, without contradicting myself, we need to aim high and have that bigger picture, but it's also important to bring it down to taking action to get to that bigger picture. Yeah, so you dream, but you need to take those small steps as well. So just notice that, just be aware of maybe those escapist tendencies you might get into. But you know, Neptune really helps us surrender and be in flow with what is moving through us, what inspiration is moving through you. You know, Neptune is a beautiful way to, you know, it helps us connect with our creativity. It's all about spirituality and our intuition as well. So, you know, explore those mystical realms, but like really root it and anchor it into your everyday life. Take those small steps. And I know that could be easier said than done sometimes. I found myself the other day really procrastinating on my painting again. And, you know, I was like, oh, let's read a book instead. So that energy is in the air, which can be a bit, you know, we can almost be too lucid or too almost flaky. So just be aware of like, what are your responsibilities, and just make sure you do the things you have to, but make space for daydreaming as well. But as well, Neptune is, although it's in a square, it is a conflicting aspect. There is a sense that we might have more compassion for ourselves, you know, particularly when we look at our bigger vision. Maybe we feel like we haven't made a lot of headway this year. But just, you know, noticing that, breathing into it, and going, well, I've done the best I can, that I could, and next year is a fresh slate. And, you know, having compassion for the people around you, or those people you've had maybe conflict with. Neptune helps us to know that we're all connected and that we're all one. But it also will help you dissolve those limiting beliefs and you know, patterns that get in the way of you reaching that bigger vision. You know, for example, you know, we all have limiting beliefs, don't we? But there's one for me that keeps surfacing, is around, you know, you've got to work hard for money. And I see where I kind of get on that hamster wheel of, oh, got to do more, 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 more. And I notice that pattern, I bring myself out of it. So this new moon is a new beginning, time to set new season, to almost cultivate new beliefs. So when you spot those beliefs like that, as soon as you notice them, reframe it, or take yourself out of that thinking and go jump up and down, or take a walk to just stop that pattern. And also expect to go deeper in your meditation or your spiritual practices, because Neptune helps us transcend the ego and you know, be in those mystical realms. So it's a really good time to do a deep meditation or something at that new moon. Oh, excuse me. So we've also got Moon conjunct Mars, and that's actually a really good aspect, because, you know, Saggy is pushing us forwards. You know, what is our truth? What is this bigger vision that we're wanting to birth? And Mars will help us take action on it. So, you know, I know myself, or as creators, we can have a ton of ideas, a ton of inspiration. We don't always act on that. But this Mars is actually getting behind us with that motivation and helping us take action on those ideas. And then we've got Moon is in a quincunx with Uranus. That's always a mouthful. Quincunx is a challenging aspect. So Uranus, we might feel a bit restless because Uranus is almost like, I always describe it as a lightning bolt. It can bring new inspiration to us. But with that, we just need to make sure we're being patient, because I find that if we get a ton of ideas and inspiration, there's only one of us, right? We can't possibly act on all of those ideas all at once. So some of those ideas may need to be parked, and I really recommend getting an ideas book if you haven't already, to just get them down at this time, because otherwise we can get too trapped into blind faith, which is the Saggy energy, and actually forget to take action, and almost spend too much time cultivating faith, but we actually need to move forwards in some way as well. So get it down in your notebook. And that Uranus is still moving through Taurus, so Taurus is about grounding and rooting, and it sees the long game. So sort of like the tortoise, you just need to keep taking those small steps, even though you might not see traction at first. Trust that you're one brick at a time, you're building the foundations, and that energy is helping us almost take inspired action so that we can be methodical and a bit structured in our approach to that bigger picture, wherever you're wanting to head. And think of it, when I say bigger picture, think of it as, where do you want to be in the next 2 years or the next 3 years? And sometimes that's really hard to see. I know it is for me, because I'm, quite intuitive, and a lot of us are, that we sort of go with the flow and we don't always plan. But if we are following that inspiration, we can start to see seeds of where we're heading, if that makes sense. And we've also got Moon, the new moon's in a trine with the North Node. So this is really a harmonious aspect, and it's helping us to, with the North Node in Aries, another fire energy, is helping us actually be quite assertive and lead with courage. Sometimes when we have ideas, it can be really hard to put ourselves out there, can't it? Because we feel vulnerable. What if this doesn't go to plan? Like, I'm in the unknown again. But that Aries is, like, right, I've got this. I trust myself. I'm going to lead myself on this journey and move forwards with intention. So, with any new moon, it is a new beginning, but really listen to those impulses. With Saggy, we're in mutable fire, so it's an adaptable energy. And with it being in fire, it's very creative. The fire energy is about being spontaneous, being playful, and moving day by day with those impulses. Excuse me, just need some water out of my wine glass. So there's that ability to, actually change direction. If you're feeling like something doesn't feel alive in me, something feels a bit stagnant. I know I had this a few months ago myself. It's okay to change direction, right? It's okay to reroute. There's nothing, it doesn't mean you failed, doesn't mean, you're a failure. It just means that something's not quite aligned. So really at this new moon, listen to what feels alive in you. And it's those whispers you get from your intuition. It's not that loud and clear, because that loud and clear, got to take action, is often the ego. That quiet voice of inner knowing, that's what we want to trust at this new moon. And that Saggy energy here is going to help us listen and hear those impulses more clearly. So make space. But I'd love to hear how you're feeling at this new moon in Saggy. Let me know below. And I'd love to also invite you to a free webinar I'm doing on the 15th of December. So it's called the Moon Cycle, Symbolism and Creative Expression. So if you want to explore how the moon cycle can actually guide you as a creative, as an artist, come along. It's going to be, yeah, I'm super excited to share this wisdom with you. And I will leave a link below in the comments below this video. All right, my loves, happy new moon, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.